Facebook's recently announced that they use community standards to determine the appropriateness of online content. The danger in this is that community standards can change, and what's socially acceptable in one day is going to be the witch hunt of tomorrow. You look at from a historian's perspective, and you've got this concept known as temporal chauvinism, where we judge the standards of the past by the standards of the present. And on the one hand, what Facebook is doing makes sense, because, well, they don't really have a choice. As far as I know, they don't pay any allegiance to any real standards, because apart from God, apart from the moral authority of the Bible, you can't have real standards. You can't have absolute right and wrong. Even murder becomes socially acceptable if the person, really had it coming. Or, what about adultery? Well, what if you love the person? Who are you really hurting? It's a victimless crime if your wife never finds out. Community standards change, and they can change very rapidly. The biblical authority doesn't ever change. The standards of God remain constant. They remain fixed. Throughout time, murder is wrong. It's condemned by God. Stealing is wrong. Adultery is wrong. A society can come to accept robbery if you're hungry, if you're starving, if you're proletariat, if you're a disenfranchised minority. Rioting can become a socially acceptable community standard, but biblically speaking, rebellion against authority is always wrong. Rebellion against the authorities that God has set up is always wrong. There are absolutes that God will judge those who are in authority. If they oppress their citizens, God will judge them. God will bring judgment on them. And regardless of what the community standards are, regardless of what people say the standards are, God will judge by the standards that He's revealed in the Bible. So I don't condemn Facebook for trying to make their way as a blind man does in a crowded room, always trying to feel its way through the standards of the community. They're a secular business. They have to do what secular businesses do. We as Christians cannot live by community standards. We have to live by God's standards. Even if you're not a Christian, you're going to be judged by God's standards, not community standards.